Yo devs, Russ here. I looked at water in games and thought, damn, that shit looks real. Well, it's not. It's all lies. It's all smoke and shaders. Wait, nah, it's not just a repetition of that popular video aimed to make some money, okay? It's different. Just let me continue, okay? You think someone's out here simulating every molecule of the water? Get real. We're making games, not running CERN. Real water physics are cool in theory, but trash in practice, cause try running it out on your Xbox toaster. I'll wait. So no, nobody calculates real fluid physics in runtime. Instead, devs go clearer. We fake it. We cheat it. We make that feeling of the water without drowning the GPU. How? Pretty easy, just some effects and something more. As you see, there are a lot of little secrets we'll discover today. Each one, trick by trick, trying to put your dumb human brain thinking like, oh, it's wet. So, bring some beer and listen our plan for today. We're gonna go through the water in games, trick by trick. I'll explain to you why they work, when they suck, and how to use them too. But before we start, please don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and what is very important, subscribe on my channel. YouTube really likes when you're doing this while watching this video or right after. Buckle up! This part of the video I was planning to show you how water progressed in different games, because literally first games with the water came up in the previous century. And believe me, devs love adding water to each game, whether it's a core gameplay feature like some pirate game with oceans and seas, or it's just rain, beer, or some peace, or endless plot. To be honest, there are enough videos on YouTube that ramble about water in games for an hour, so I suggest we briefly just go through it with the song.
Secrets and 90s made us dive, fixed the seas, kept us alive, then Mario sprung to the waves and told blue childhood memories go. Under the teens, 3D dive scene, you could actually swim, felt like a dream. Countless waves, holding the tide, evolution of water from not to midnight. Or A64, ripples of fresh, jet skis carving, made her smash. Super Mario let us float, the Arctic down, we chase the remote. Where some deep, with puzzles to test, or just brick boxes, looking the best. Fixes for breezing, the water gets sleek, games level up fluid physics to seek. For treasure of forgiveness, real love fraction, half of the coins, secure satisfaction, Bioshock Rapture, no distortion, crisis, ocean. You can return for the phobia fluid, consuming fast, puzzling panic, watery blast, back of the door, even the gore, season 4, damage galore, Abzuser, plummet, mermaid, sweeps, and gets pressure, dips and from sleep, sea of sea, mid open cities, stars and ships, inspiring peace, red redemption, river swell, dynamite, show us some hell, treasure of speech and menace from deep, and only red birds release, don't give a fuck.
Now that the obligatory nostalgia trip is over, let's dive deeper into these watery lies and see how devs pull off this slick illusion. First of all, normal maps. Imagine flat surfaces, pretending they're not flat. Normal map adds some fake ripples and waves without an even single extra polygon. Pure illusion of depth running as cheap and as fast as Moldavian internet. Zero performance cost compared to real geometry. Your GPU loves it, your eyes love it, everyone is happy. Here how it works. Normal maps encode tiny surface details into an image. Think of it like a special texture with RGB channels describing fake bumps. When the light hits it, your GPU goes, ah, gotcha, bumps here, even though it's flatter than your sense of humor. Check the result. Left one looks boring, and the right one feels alive. All thanks to a little RGB magic. No heavy calculations, just clever pixel trickery. Normal maps aren't just the cheap tricks. They're a backbone for water surfaces in every game. Without them, you'll be drowning in polygons or deal with flat-ass cheap lakes that looks like a blue cardboard. Now, let's slide into something shinier and flashier. Caustics. These are those shimmering, mesmerizing light patterns dancing at the bottom of oceans and pools floor. Nobody knows where they come from, but everyone notices when they're gone. Without caustics, your water would look like a dead piece. Flat, lifeless, and boring as hell. Here's the deal. Caustics in real life come from sunlight bending and bouncing off rippling water surfaces. In game though, again it's all smoke and mirrors. Typically it's a simple animated texture projected on the underwater surface. Let's compare. The one feels lively and inviting, and the other makes you want to drain the pool and call sanitation. Caustics aren't hard on your GPU either, just another clever trick to keep your water believable without turning your PC into a heater. Alright, we've covered first two, now we are free to go to the next one, which is flow maps. Flow maps give direction to water movement, creating an illusion that the water is really moving somewhere, instead of just sitting around and doing nothing. Imagine rivers and streams with no flow. Boring and stagnant like your old Tinder matches, isn't it? Flow maps fix that by guiding textures along predefined paths, giving it some sense of purpose. Here is how it's done. Think of a flow map as a special texture with colors indicating movement directions. Red says go left, green screams flow right, and the colors blend smoothly to simulate complex currents. The result? A dynamic flowing surface that tricks your brains into believing water really moves. Without flow maps, your river might as well be parking lots. With them, instant life, instant believability. Alright, water nerds, hold tight. And next topic is vertex displacement. Vertex displacement moves the mesh itself, making the water feel genuinely alive and dynamic. Here how it works. Shaders modify a vertex position, pushing and pulling the geometry to simulate movement. It's a bit heavier on your GPU, but still nowhere near full physical simulation. It strikes the perfect balance between realism and performance. Without it, your water is basically a jelly. With the vertex displacement, that's now a living water, my friends. Splashing, droplets, rain, fountains, bursts, waterfalls, misty sprays. Particles can show up everywhere where water interacts with the environment. This visual noise makes water feel alive, aggressive, and chaotic. Without it, your waves are gonna be acting silently, your rain would be invisible, and your splashes just set. Foam adds this finishing touch, making your waves and shores feel more energetic, reactive, and intense. I would say that particles and foam complete the illusion. The next stop is the guy who manages all this shit, and his name is Shader. I won't lie if I say that shaders are the king of the visuals. In our particular case, I can say that Shader is the god of the water effect. Everything we've covered so far, normal maps, caustics, flow maps, vertex displacement, and even particles and foam, are controlled by the one guy who is whispering to your GPU, "Suck it, I run the show here." Shaders handle reflections, transparency, shadows, and depths, making your visual experience rich and believable. In other words, they calculate how water interacts with lights, surfaces, and surroundings. Without shaders, water would look like sad blue jelly. With them, you get vibrant oceans, reflective lakes, mysterious depths, and realistic transparency. Now, let's focus on another magical trick that looks stunning, but technically cheeky. It's called screen space reflections. Ever noticed how game water seems to perfectly reflect the sky, trees, and even player-tortured soul? That is screen space reflection, also known as SSR. For you, pure visual trickery. Yes, these reflections are fake, and yes, they occasionally glitch and lag more than your Wi-Fi during peak hours, but without them, your oil looks as convincing as a plastic wrap stretched over the kiddie pool. Now, here's how this crafty illusion works. SSR grabs information directly from the rendered image on your screen, flips it and pastes it into the water surface. All in real time, it's the digital equivalent of a mirror selfie. Quick, effective, but sometimes distorted or incomplete when the original image shifts or moves out of view. Hope you like it, so let's compare the visuals. On the left, your water is embarrassingly dull. On the right, it's particularly Hollywood-level magic, reflecting the environment, enhancing immersion, and subtly mocking your GPU. But be warned, SSR isn't free. It demands careful tuning and some GPU juice. Push it too hard and you will be stuck with visual glitches and shimmering artifacts, just screaming cheap trick. Still, it's a must-have for anywhere that aims higher than mediocre. The next stop is gonna be refraction. Ever wondered why the rock that you see on the riverbed isn't actually where it appears to be? Blame refraction. That stubborn and mischievous bending of the light. Essential for every self-respecting puddle, refraction messes with your perception in the most delightful way. Here is the lowdown. Refraction occurs because light slows down and changes direction when passing through the water. GameDevs recreate this by slightly offsetting objects beneath the water surface using shaders. It's a clever distortion trick that fools your eyes into thinking there is actual depth, enhancing realism dramatically. Time to compare. Without refraction, underwater objects look unnaturally crisp and perfectly placed, about as convincing as a photoshopped Instagram post. With refraction, your virtual water actually behaves like the wet stuff in reality, deceptive, elusive, and engaging. Like SSR, refraction requires some processing power, but it delivers huge dividends. It's an absolute essential for any water that wants to convince the player that it's wet and unpredictable. Deeper means darker, sometimes muddier, occasionally tinted with a bluish hue of existential dread. Depth-based effects help create a tangible sense of volume and lurking fear of drowning. It's not about realism, it's more about psychological fear of danger, of some depths without a word. Here what happens. Game developers are using depth-based shading techniques that darken and muddy water the deeper you go. This gradation adds dimension, giving players visual clues about depths and subtly influencing their emotional response. Think about diving into crystal clear water that gradually becomes opaque. This effect is what makes it feel authentic and immersive. Without this effect, a water body appears shallow and unconvincing. Add them and players instinctively understand the volume, depths, and the potential threat lurking beneath. Underwater, everything is blurry. Colors changes dramatically. Bubbles floating upwards. Bloom effects dazzle your eyes and chromatic aberration subtly distorts your vision. These effects aren't just stylistic flourishes, they're essential. Without them, your underwater scenes would look like a tiled supermarket floor after a spill. Wet, flat, and boring. Here is how it's executed. The post-processing kicks in as soon as the camera submerges, altering the visuals to simulate underwater optics. Blur and distortion mimic the refractive chaos beneath the surface. Bloom exaggerates bright lights, and color grading emphasizes cool blue-green tones. With these camera effects, players feel they're submerged, immersed, and potentially in danger, just as we want them to feel while they're underwater. We already covered vertex displacement and particles, those should activate on the interactions with the water. Walks through the water, splash. Throw a rock, splash. Throwing a grenade, splash. Something is falling, splash. Whatever's happening, splash. It's not even supposed to be physically accurate, but just simple interaction dramatically boosts immersion, making feel water alive and responsive. Without physics interaction, your water feels static and lifeless, which is not good. Without sounds, your water isn't water, it's a slideshow. All this audio cues tricks your brain to accept this illusion. In fact, sound design can sometimes surpass visual fidelity in importance, creating an atmosphere, mood, and the depths. Listen closely. Without proper sound, even graphically stunning water becomes hollow. So just keep in mind to add a proper crafted sound and your water would be perfect. And there we have it, my guys. We did it. All wet secrets of game water revealed. Water effects are like endless rabbit holes, huh? Just deeper, wetter, and slightly less cuddly. What? Almost forgot that if you want to see exclusive content, grab source code for my videos and join the gang of the absolute chats, and maybe see a few streams, then hop onto Patreon and subscribe, or you will never see a woman. But most importantly, stay hydrated and love your mom. Cheers. I should try playing this game.